bear with me and bow your heads. We thank you, Lord, for this fine day, for Betsy and Neil, his fiancée. We thank you for these grooms so witty, for Ed and Sam from New York City, for Matt and Scott, and Nick and Bill, and all our friends from Chapel Hill. Please don't forget our good friend Damien, who soon will honeymoon as a Bahamian. You try to rhyme that one. We thank you for these maids so classy, for Anna, Sally, Rachel, and Sunny Biassi. For Mandy and Missy, and Allison and Liz, as some would say, they are what is. And also for the Stanley side, for one of whom there would be no tomorrow's bride. And finally for my Betsy dear, for helping have Neil here. Amen. Now, Scott Hughes has something to say.
I think I'm going to turn my light on. Is that obnoxious?
Your mother's crying.
Is this obnoxious?
I'm going to start this off, and I'm probably the youngest of the crowd, as I just know Neil 6 years ago, and it's been great getting to know everyone. Neil and I met in Texas, and Neil and I were one of those type folks that met and we got along right off the bat, which was awesome because that's why we're here now, and Neil was in my wedding. But I started to learn some things about Neil that were very interesting. Neil will fall asleep anywhere. Very interesting. Neil and I both share, we both enjoy meeting celebrities. In Austin, we met the cast of Just Shoot Me, which was a very interesting story. And then, of course, down in the Bahamas, we met Hitler. So we've shared a few things, and over the years, we've been to New York, and I've met all the friends.
He's a good
And Neil's been the kind of guy that he and I, we see each other every now and then, but we never forget where we were. And as always, good friends, good help. Thank you.
Cheers.
Are we just going, okay, like, do we just keep up?
Yeah.
So I know where my place is.
Sandy, thank you for that one.
Great.
Okay.
If you gesture wildly.
Oh yeah, and I do usually that. So they know over here. I'm a gesture. I want to thank, first of all, Mr. and Mrs. Ballas for having us here tonight, and also thank the Stanleys for hosting tomorrow night ahead of time. I'm going to toast the couple, but before I do that, I wanted to share some suggestions I had for Neil. I mean, you can call it advice. It's loose advice. But after being married a year and a half, you know, Mike helped me, my husband helped me, so he did edit my comments. They were probably harsher. Wanted to share, knowing Neil and knowing Betsy, a couple things that might help you out your first year. So, the first one, and you guys probably all know this, but Neil is a really friendly guy. You know, he's one of those guys, he comes in, he gets to know everyone, he's best friends with everyone by the end of the night. He's especially susceptible to this on weddings, events. He actually has some nicknames from our friends. The Mayor, Niles, you might have, some of you know a few of these. But I wanted to, Neil, just let you know, when you're a married man and you're out meeting your new friends, before you accept their invitations, like Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas, you may want to check with Betsy first, because that's kind of one of the things as a couple you need to do. So, just to let you know. The second thing I wanted to talk to you about, Neil, is I know you went to school in the South and you spent some time in the South, but you've been living in the Northeast, and I just want to remind you, and I think that you do know, but Betsy has an affinity for Southern food. And what this means is that you may be required to go well out of your way to reach the Southern food when you're down in the Southern. And some of these foods, which include but are not limited to Bojangles, especially the tea and biscuits, pimento cheese, a lot of times Anna Clay's mom's recipe, fried shrimp, all secret and famous types of dishes from Betsy's relatives. and of course the original chicken sandwich Chick-fil-A. The third thing I want to tell you is don't touch your blanket, ever. Don't even think about it.
Never.
Like that.
That's all I got to say about that. Number 4, Neil, this is just in, guys do help clean the house. So before you get back, you might want to familiarize yourself with the following products. Bathroom cleaner, $4.09. Murphy's oil soap, if you have hardwood floors, don't ever use anything else. Dishwashing liquid, and of course the toilet brush. It's extremely important. And number 5. Occasionally when Betsy comes home, you might hear the following phrase come out of her mouth, and that is, it was on sale. Neil, I'm here to tell you, Betsy is going to save you a lot of money. And I'm telling you this, and my husband can sit here and attest that in the last year and a half, I've saved us a lot of money. But this is where the whole compromise thing in marriage comes in, because see, every time you're out on the golf course and you play around without Betsy, that's an equal amount of money she gets to save you. So, just want to let you know ahead of time, that's the way it works, and it's great like that. Seriously, I had the pleasure of knowing both Betsy and Neil during college. And I was probably as surprised as anyone to find that they finally took their relationship public after 11 years of being on the slide. Who knew? When Betsy told me that she ran into Neil in New York, I was initially optimistic and later excited about their future together. This is where I have to cheat a little bit, because I'll probably get tripped up if I don't. Betsy is a genuine, fun-loving, honest, witty, generous, and caring soul who has found a partner that is a true compliment to her and Neil. They truly bring out the best. I'm missing out much of a prior. So Mike and I would like to give you this toast. May God bless you with a lifetime of the same happiness that surrounds you tonight. Cheers.
I think it's my turn. I think I've met most everybody, but I'm Betsy's brother Mick. And I also would like to thank the Ballases for having us here tonight. And for tomorrow, it's always great to dive into Dad's pocketbook one more time, right? And I did learn a couple interesting things tonight from the slideshow. I didn't realize that Neil was in a boy band. And I didn't realize that my sister was actually a subway pole dancer. Who knew? Yeah. But what I would like to do is on Thursday we had a golf tournament between the Stanley and Ballases, and I put together a trophy that's not actually put together yet. I wanted to find out who the winner was and those types of things, but what I've done is I think we both enjoy golf as a family. So the winner this time, even though they did fly in reinforcements from San Francisco with Dick coming in, the Stanley family came in triumph and won. And we had and actually, the funny thing is, it wouldn't have happened unless Betsy would have played. By her scoring as well as she did, we won. So, but this is the trophy for the winner. But I also hope it stands as a symbolism that our families can continue to get together and have fun, and enjoy each other's company. You got a big problem. So,
Pass that down year to year.
What's that? So, here's a toast to family.
Hey, Laura, you drafted. You drafted.
Cheers.
Yes.
I am Rachel Connolly now, recently Connolly. And Betsy and I met, we actually met, it was a couple of days before classes even started. We were on Franklin Street, and I don't remember who I was with or who she was with, but I think we had some mutual friends and met, and when we walked off, whoever I was with, I said out loud, and I've always thought of, and I've told Betsy that she never gets tired of hearing it, but that she was the prettiest person I'd ever seen in my whole life. And I didn't realize how big her hair was then. I look back at pictures, and I'm like, oh, wow.
It was big.
Right. And
You want the
Betsy and I
perm.
coincidentally, after that, pledged the same sorority, and we're fast friends. And I think it's probably because she's a redneck from Laurinburg, and I'm a redneck from Rockingham. Most likely. But I honestly don't know if I would have survived my 20s without her, because Betsy is the definition of a true friend. If you call her, she'll get in her car and drive. Anywhere you are. It doesn't, you have a baby, you break up with a boyfriend, you just need somebody to eat a pizza with. Betsy will get in her car and drive to where you are. And an example of this is a couple of years ago, it was actually over September 11th, and before I found my wonderful, wonderful husband, I was having a very tough couple of days, and Betsy said, "Shit, I'll just get in my car and drive down from New York City. Meet me in Raleigh, and we'll go to the beach." And I was like, you know what? I shut my computer down, I ran out of the office, and I was like, it's like the best offer I've had in a long time. And so we met in Raleigh, spent the night, and I don't know what happened, but somewhere between Raleigh and Ocean Isle, it took us 5 hours to get to Ocean Isle. We've both been to Ocean Isle to family affair like 400 times. And well, I don't even know where we were. I think we like looped around Rockingham and Laurinburg 3 times. We finally get to the beach, and this is the weekend after September 11th, which was, was a terrible time for everyone. But I remember it as one of my most special weekends, because we sat on the front porch of family affair and ate pimento cheese and drank Bloody Marys and smoked a couple of cigarettes. and that is Betsy in a nutshell. That is what she will do for her friends. So I've discovered that as beautiful as she is on the outside, she's that beautiful on the inside. So, and I wish you and Neil 8 happy months of marriage like
Been married 3 years.
I'm Bill. I'm married to Liz, Neil's brother. So about 14 years ago, 16 years ago,
Thank you.
Neil was actually in my wedding, and I'm really privileged to have the honor to pay that this weekend. Neil isn't like a brother to me. Neil is a brother to me, and it's been an amazing thing for me to get to know the whole Ballas family and be part of it. And I am the one person here who Betsy needs to talk to. Because I'm the only one who has those in-laws.
That's a good thing.
And the good news is, you're okay. They're great in-laws. And they couldn't be the more warm, loving, generous. I'm honored to be part of the family, and I'm honored to welcome you to the family. And that's all.
Thank you, Bill.
He can stay.
Yeah, he's a keeper. That's a keeper.
Hi, I'm Missy Farrell, and I'm nervous right now, so I'm going to read. But first, I am one of Betsy's best friends from college, and dude, I can't cry. And also her roommate from New York. So that's not sad. Like breezy. All right. Everyone here that knows Betsy and our group of friends, and those of you who aren't as familiar with us yet, you'll understand by the end of tomorrow night that we're all a little strangely obsessed and moved by music. Not normal, mainstream, everyone likes music, but North Street Gangsta ditties. A song like 525,600 minutes may move us to dance around the den with a hairbrush, singing at the top of our lungs. Can't fight the moonlight, the coyote, the draws do a little pole dance, buffalo stance, uncontrollable laughter in a traffic jam. I mean, what is she like anyway? Secondhand news or grease. Always calls for a choreographed and probably some clogging group dance. And Carolina on my mind inevitably invokes a circle hug and a few happy tears. I was lucky to witness Betsy and Neil falling in love as I was there the night they re-met, and I was her roommate in New York during their ever-important courtship. I was a fan of Neil's from the start, but was surprised and joyed to learn Neil was crazy too. Crazy for music things. I first learned of this when we shared stories and videos of our high school plays and choral concerts. Not many guys will willingly watch videos of their girlfriend's roommates' musical performances. Next, I learned of Neil's mania for karaoke. He's a regular, and I'm sure if we're lucky, we might even get him to do a few little songs by the end of the weekend. But I knew he and Betsy were perfect for each other after one of their dates turned into an all-out dancing and singing performance in our living room. Betsy did most of the dancing, I'm sure, but Neil won her heart by serenading her with Alison Krauss's I Will. Betsy and Neil, I'm so thrilled for you two. Your love for one another is beautiful and fun, and I feel so lucky to have shared so much of this journey with you. I look forward to adding many more songs to the playlist.
That's okay, it's my bad fault.
I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Ballas for hosting us here tonight. It's a wonderful evening. It's a lot of fun. Neil's an amazing person, and I think, when I've been sitting here wondering what I was going to say, it all can be summed up by saying that he's a man of sterling character. And I can say that about him sincerely, unlike I might say it about some other people. And it's directly to the credit of Mr. and Mrs. Ballas that is true. I had the benefit of witnessing some of the parenting techniques that they used in his formative years that helped mold him into the man that he is. And I would like to thank them for that as well. Similarly, I would like to thank the Stanleys for molding such an outstanding and seemingly impossible counterpart in Betsy. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman and is a perfect match for Neil. And so, to Mr. and Mrs. Ballas, Mr. and Mrs. Stanley, Neil and Betsy, cheers.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ed Ryan, and I am an old friend of Neil's. And I would like to, in addition to the wonderful things that have already been said, add a couple of thoughts based on what I believe to be three wonderful states, let's call them. I have to start out with the state of New York. Yes, go ahead for New York. State where many of us live, many of us have lived, many of us are from, some of us were even born. A state where...
The Empire State.
The Empire State.
Who lost to the Red Sox, though?
Watch it.
Sorry.
You don't have my allies here.
It's a state where Neil introduced me to my wife, and it's a state where Neil and Betsy rekindled, luckily for all of us. And if it hadn't been for being in that state, we wouldn't be here. So wonderful for that. Second state I want to recognize is a U.S. state, really, or it's more a state of mind, and it's a place called Harbor Island in the Bahamas, which many of you have been to, and It's where Neil's parents spend a lot of their year. So certainly for all those of us who've been there, we thank you for having us. We certainly thank you for this evening. And if any of you haven't been, try to make it there. It's one of the most wonderful places in the world.
You're here. Yes.
Third state I'd like to recognize is the state of North Carolina. State where many of us live, have lived, are born, went to school, and where we are now. A state where Neil and Betsy first met some 11, 12, 13 years ago, whatever it was. And it's a state where they will begin their lives together tomorrow. So with that, I'd like to encourage all of us, a big round of applause for Neil and Betsy for 3 states that I hope they will find in their marriage: a state of love, a state of trust, and a state of happiness.
I'm not going to go.
Okay, we're fine. Oh, that was supposed to be the break. We're fine.
Mine's going to be short. My wife panics when I stand up to talk, as the rest of the family does.
Yeah.
Because I don't go through 3 states. I probably take all 49. 50 down. Really. No, I wanted to thank, been a gracious host. We've enjoyed the weekend, the week. I've been here since last Sunday. The week, and the golf was, and the night is unbelievable. So we really appreciate that. And but there's 2 other things I really am thankful for. Well, it's actually 3. And I'm going to start out with the third one. The third one, and this is hard to swallow, and Mick will understand this. I'm thankful for Chapel Hill. And that's tough.
Because Clemsonite.
Well, we love Clemson, but we also love University of South Carolina. My youngest graduated from there. My oldest graduated from Chapel Hill. My middle graduated from Clemson. My youngest graduated from University of South Carolina. If you don't think that's tough, you ought to live through it. But I am thankful for Chapel Hill for what it brought us. And it brought y'all together. And finding that picture was worth all of it. The other thing is, I'm deeply thankful that for the Bouses for welcoming Betsy and your family.
Easy.
They say when you're a child you cry easy, and then when you grow up to a man you shouldn't, but after you get children you do again. It's tough. And you'll be all right. And last thing is, we're thankful for, what's his name? For Neil. We have totally enjoyed him. We welcome him into our family. And I hope you have a father up for 36 years.
Get it right.
I had to get it right. For 36 years. We hope you've had that. And we wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure they'll have
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take
Laura.
I'm feeling from this tonight.
There you go. It's better, don't worry.
I'm Laura, part of the Massey family that grew up across the street from the Stanleys. I am like Betsy and like a lot of my friends. I'm a redneck, yes. And that's my husband just said. But I enjoyed the spotlight, I enjoyed the show, and I get complete satisfaction from having a microphone in my hand. Very disappointed that I'm not getting that tonight. But my expectations are very high tonight because Betsy gave a very stellar performance at my wedding a year and a half ago. And I didn't know how I was going to follow this up. And then, in addition to that, 2 weeks ago I was at a wedding and I crafted this wonderful toast that I thought was just amazing. Got up there, went through it, called the room by a completely wrong name. And then it was, audience participation, raised the glasses, had everybody go with me, called him Brandon, his name's Brian. So needless to say, I'm shaking tonight, not really ready for this. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just to step out of my element, give Betsy the win on this one, even though I came up with all of the Christmas morning performances, all the songs while she snoozed, and then I would just teach her them real fast and give them in the morning. I'm going to have to say that you came through when it counted, and I can't follow it up. But I do have to say something sweet and sentimental since I did have to stand up for the group. I've adored Betsy my entire life. Still do. That is sad. Just her laugh can bring a smile to anybody's face, and just how much she gives to others and how much she cares about others. I think it's evident in everything she does. I mean, I saw it today when the conversations that she has with her friends, and she got everybody manicures and pedicures, and her openness with everybody, how real she is. I mean, I witnessed this most strange conversation with her future mother-in-law today. I was quite shocked by what she said to her. Curious about those. Yeah, I can't share that. I said I'm stepping out of my element. I'm not sharing those things. But I just think she's great. And the more and more I get to know Neil, I know that he is perfect for her, and she is perfect for him. And last night, at the bar, when Neil voluntarily stepped up on stage, grabbed the mic, which I didn't know was part of him, apparently everybody else did, I was blown away. I thought it was absolutely fabulous. So I can already tell that the life that Betsy and Neil are going to share together is going to be one stellar performance.
Damien, here's your chance.
Margo.
Right? Who said Margo. Yes, I'm an interloper. I'm a New Yorker. B, I haven't grown up necessarily with Betsy, although I have known Neil since high school. So I should introduce myself. I'm Margo Ryan, and most of you don't know who the hell I am. But I know Betsy and Neil in New York, and I know them as a couple, and I know them every day, and it is such a fabulous thing to see. So I want to go back a step, and I want to say congratulations to the Stanleys and the Ballases, because I think that both of these as couples have set such a high standard and such a high bar. And I know that it's to have that in your past and to have that to look forward to, it's going to make the difficulties, if they have any, that much easier because they know how to survive it, because they know what fabulous couples can be. So that's for the Ballas and the Stanley families. Congratulations to you guys. And thank you from their hearts, because I know that it's going to be important to them in the future, what you've given to them. And I want to thank Neil and Betsy. Neil for introducing me to my husband, for starters. Betsy for a few bottles of wine here and there. And also for Neil and Ed and I met and became a couple. And it is such a fabulous thing to have Neil and Betsy there as well. First of all, I get to go to Harbor Island from now on because it's not just boys trips. It's couples trips to Harbor Island, so thank you very much for that. And Little Deer Island.
Dynamo, I think. Dynamo, right there.
Dynamo. Anyway, I did not plan this, but I just couldn't resist to say, anybody like Betsy and Neil who can bring their friends in from every aspect of their life, and everybody from elementary school and high school and college and after college is amazing. And I am so excited to be the people from New York. Get to see them together singing in karaoke and dancing in karaoke and all of those other things. And I am so, so happy to be there with you in New York. So stay. Cheers.
Sorry about that.
We're not doing this job.
First off, I'd like to take a second to thank the Ballases, a family who I've come to
to know and love for many years, and for hosting this wonderful event. And also the Stanleys, who I've really enjoyed getting to know these past couple of days. I've been around, you know. I mean, I've been in a lot of weddings. It's actually the 13th wedding that I've been in. And,
14.
well, okay. But anyway, sometimes you get dubbed as the comedic guy or whatever and pushing over things. But I'd be remiss if I didn't get a chance to say how much Neil and Betsy mean to me. And so I actually come from a background of a little preaching. I was a youth minister for several years, and that's actually how I met my fiance. So really quickly, I would like to say that, and I'm summing up here, and if you're not a Christian, bear with me, but it's Philippians 1, 3 through 6, and to sum it up, it basically says this, and it sums it up for Neil and Betsy. It's, every time I think of you, I smile, and I pray, and it makes me happy. And that kind of sums it up perfectly for me. So enough of that. The year was 1992. Nay, 91. I met a young Neil Ballard. My name, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Damian Graham. I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. Prize jewel of the Triad. I hope you get a chance to visit. It's lovely this time of year. Foliage is gorgeous. But I met Neil back in 1991. We were fraternity brothers from the beginning and pledged together. And as Magic Night is tonight is, it was important for me to come up with something unique to say, something that you all could learn about Neil and you know, some of the amazing experience that we shared. So as I crafted what I was going to say tonight, it occurred to me that many of the folks here tonight may know Neil very well and Betsy not as well. Or vice versa, Betsy very well and Neil not so well. So what are you going to do? We've got to create some way so that we can learn more about the person that we don't know so well, and at the same time learn something new about the person we thought we knew. So with that, if I could please have Neil and Betsy join me right here. Alright, if I could please have the couple to stand back to back.
You can hold your applause until the end.
Yes. Just stand back to back, please. And I'd like you each to take your shoes off and exchange one shoe apiece.
Both shoes?
Both. You have one of your own shoes in one hand and your partner's shoe in the other.
This is a good deal. I'm curious.
Getting curious.
Red socks.
New shoes, by the way.
I just shrunk like three.
Why am I not surprised?
Last second, yeah. Those are nice shoes. So what do we do?
Alright, now I'm shorty.
We're waiting on the strappies. I apologize. Okay. Alright, you guys can stand back to back. Exchange one shoe apiece. Okay. Is everybody familiar with the game 20 Questions? Yes. Okay. What we're going to do is ask a series of 20 questions, and they're going to answer each question by raising the shoe that is the answer to the question. So, for example, if the answer is Betsy, you would then raise Betsy's shoe. Neil, you would raise Betsy's shoe. If the answer is Neil, you would raise Neil's shoe. Can everybody see? Can everybody hear?
Raise it up high, Neil.
You gotta raise it up high, yes. And you cannot look at each other to see the answer.
This is good.
Alright, so we'll start off with something very simple so we all understand the rules. Nice, easy question. Who is more blessed with the gift of the gab? Who spends more time in the mirror?
Oh, there Betsy.
Who is the better salesperson?
Oh.
Go Neil, go Neil.
I love it.
Who would describe themselves as not necessarily cheap, but exact? A scenario for you. When at a party, who is always the first one to want to go home?
Neither, none of the above.
You never want to go home.
Not my mom.
Who is more romantic?
Oh, yeah.
Who is a better kisser? One answer, please. Who has broken the most hearts? And answer, please.
Who's counting? You're being nice.
All right, oh, an easier one. Who drank more in college? Who drinks more now? On Tuesday, who drinks more? Who flirts with the other's friends more?
Three.
For that question, for that little trophy there, who is the better golfer?
Hey, who won the trophy?
Nice.
Very diplomatic.
Who is a bigger fan, more inclined to public display of affection? Waiting on the...
Puppy dog. Puppy dog.
Who was the first to bring up the L word, the word of love?
Got it.
Same night.
All right, who was the first one to mention the M word, marriage?
Damien apparently knows this, but...
There you go. You got it. All right, when you go out at night, who is the one that makes the decision about where to go out to eat? Not anymore. Who is more of a neat freak?
That was easy. That was an easy. He's not too bad. You should have seen him as a kid. Oh my gosh. He gets credit.
Yeah, that was the
Actually, his first girlfriend gets the credit.
Who likes to talk more in baby talk?
That's great.
Who is more competitive?
Yes.
All right. And lastly, who gets along better with the in-laws? We've had a lot of fun asking a lot of questions of these two, but it's clear there is no question why they found each other. So please raise your glass and toast this wonderful day.
All right. Carry on.
Maybe someone else wants to.
Hey, Mike, should I break dance?
Yeah, break dance.
Wow. All right. I want to thank
thank everybody for being here. I know I speak for Betsy and myself. This is so special. Cannot even put it into words. I want to thank my mom and dad. And I've been a basket case all evening, so bear with me. I want to thank my mom and dad for this evening. Having a group of family and friends here with us is beyond expression. And I want to thank Guy and Barbara for tomorrow night, which is me a hoot. It's me a wonderful.
It will be.
It's even better than a good time. And just for all of you being here, it's amazing. And most importantly, try to keep it short and tear-free. But I want to thank Betsy because. Oh wow. Because this girl. all I can say, I absolutely cannot put it into words, but the one thing that I think about is that she makes me smile, but not externally, but she makes me smile inside. And the kind of smile we've all experienced where it just gets down in you and you can't control yourself. And the feeling of joy that she gives me is irreplaceable. And I can't live without it.
Thank you.
And we're having a party. No crying allowed. There's no crying in baseball. At Magnolia's, which is right in downtown, easy to find. I probably can't find it myself, but you all just find it. And I hope you join us there shortly after tonight.
I just saw that on cable the other day.
Every time it's on, I say to Dick, I just have to see that part where he says, "There's no crying in baseball." Just getting better, does it?